So getting apart. I had to switch it up a little bit. Actually, keep it the same. Keep it like last time, but like check it out. I usually don't say much, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit. Tell you some things. My life, me, what I'm thinking. Really nothing big, but I feel like a lot of people, they don't talk no more. And, lately, I really been studying things and things meaning my self-life, I've been like on a self-journey. And, I know people say these things a lot. But, I've been on my own life path and whatnot. And I just want to say, a few things while I got some moments of clarity in the day before it ends. I'm in the park right now. And man, I guess like this message is for anybody. I'm about to go into is just really, I guess, for anybody. I don't even have I think this could apply to all human beings. I'm usually to myself, kind of like a quiet person, you feel me? But I think this year, 2024, I'm thinking about taking a vow of silence. I know that might sound weird, but I don't know if anybody talking about that yet or what have you. I know, like, the monks do that or whatever. They be up there in the mountains and they just be quiet. I haven't really, talked to anybody about this, but thinking about taking a vow of silence. Maybe for like a year, just a year or 6 months. Or, I don't really know yet, but what about a vow of silence? What if we were just quiet to, process things? Like, what if we just had a moment to think about things without the words? I feel like sometimes so much of what we say is convoluted, misunderstood. Words have a lot to play. But I also feel like, silence has a lot to play. Myself being a quiet person, a person often silent. But I do speak, Sometimes it works out for me. But, yeah. That's my thing right now that I'm thinking about. That I'm really deep in thought about. Like, what if I just stayed quiet for a whole year? Like, I could write things down, I could just write it down on a paper and it would take longer and it would slow, it would change, But what about that though? Just a way to me, I see it as a way to escape the judgment. I see it as a way to escape the judgment. I'll come back to where I was before. of society, people, things that don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like a way to just, like if you didn't care, like if you didn't want to play that game no more, like if you just, that's where I was before. Just had to sit in the middle of the square, just away from everything. Just to be away from everything. Yeah, I usually don't talk. I usually don't get on and talk or talk at all. Like out here on the internet like that. I might write a line or two, something like that, Speak my mind briefly. I'm a sort of, person that just be more direct, simple. I err towards business, I err towards business. I consider myself a business person, a business guy. So, but at the same time, I see some value in this idea of just not saying things too much or at all. Like, there's value in silence. But yeah, y'all, taking a vow of silence. The idea, the concept, like taking a vow of silence, that's something I've really been thinking about. Have you thought about that? Have you considered doing that yourself, like as a solution to things, like maybe as an escape for real, or a solution, like like what if I could just be somewhere else right quick, but stay there, and I could see everything that's happening, but I'm on the other side of the glass, like in a way where like I could focus, the distractions is on the other side. Like, not that you're afraid of things, or not that you can't handle things, but like kind of like how the monks do it, up at the top of the mountains, where there's not a lot of things up there. There's not a lot of air up there, and they're up there, meditating and training. We know what they, we have a sense of what they do, and that's one of the things that I've heard them do. But either way, the discipline in it, the self-control, to just stick to that doctrine as long as, I would see fit to stick to something like that. To stick to something like that is serious. But it would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to me. Whether I did it or not, just thinking about it for what it is. Yeah. I've pretty much been disciplined, my whole life as a person myself. As a person myself. That's something natural to me, but there's no levels to it, You can still be a disciplined person and still fall off, or, have a moment or have levels that there for you to increase your discipline, to do more. And that's how I see it for myself, as an opportunity to do more. Give me a second, y'all. What's hurting on the floor? We're gonna stand up right quick. Yeah, man. So just had to come out here and record myself and just kind of talk openly, talk to the world, kind of open source this conversation. That's kind of how I see it. Like, if I'm gonna have internet conversation with the internet, it's just gonna be an open source conversation. So, not that I expect, things either way or the other in terms of like an opinion of sorts, but just like I think it's something spiritual about just sharing, about just sharing thoughts and ideas. Sometimes there's an answer to things, there's a solution. For me, for this, for my life, I feel like this is maybe an answer to some things. Maybe it's not. I learned a lot through experimentation and testing, different kind of ideas, modalities, and ways to not just discipline myself, but free myself at the same time. It's like two sides of the coin. Speaking all the time, I feel like it's like just showing one side. I'm always speak and always show what I think, versus maybe being silent sometimes. Just give it a moment to think about what I'm not saying. Maybe I'm weird for thinking like this. Maybe I am weird for thinking like this, but I think I'm not the only person that thinks like this. But a vow of silence, I can just hear the birds, hear the grass. I mean, I can hear it now. I feel in tune now, but if I were to be silent, when you're silent, it's everybody, it's everything else, it's everyone else's words that come in and bounce around or hang. It's the ambient sounds that do the same thing, but you take yourself out of it. It's like you're not playing that game, or you're not playing that tune anymore, of adding yourself constantly to the next thought. And I feel like with marketing and advertising, making a dollar, we're always trying to advertise ourselves to the next person, market ourselves to ourselves. We're always focused on what it is that we're projecting. I'm not saying we shouldn't play that game in terms of make your money, but you have to. Could I not speak and still live my life the same? I don't think not speaking has to be not making money, but there's something interesting there. There's something fascinating there to me about that. The energy that you get back. Yeah, I had to just come in the middle of the square, where no one was at. In the middle of the sun. It's pretty hot, but today's just one of the best days. Today's been one of the best days. Today's been one of the best days in terms of heat. I don't even feel the radiation like I usually But yeah, you can let me know what you think. You could just watch. I usually just watch. I'm the person that watch a lot. But now I really have something to say. Quite a few things to say. But I'm starting here. I'm starting with this. It's one of my ideas. Kind of how I see the world a little bit, but it's a lot of things on my mind. I don't actually come outside too much. It's funny enough. I'm usually a homebody, but I do come out, to play outside and walk around. But really, we connect with nature. We connect with the air. It's a little hot for me, but I gotta do it every once in a while. I want to speak for a little while too. I want to talk to you guys, whoever you are, wherever you are. To really lay this thing out for myself. Like, these open source conversations. Yeah, man. Vow of Silence. Vow of Silence. That's what I'm thinking. What if I did it for just one day? What if I did it for just a day? What if I did it for just a day? What if I vlogged it? If I did it for a day, we went around. That'd be difficult. In a way, it wouldn't. I say it'd be difficult because I feel like the way people might wrestle with it might be difficult. For me, to have to just, settle with the fact that it might be on display, to wrestle with the fact that people's ideas on it might be different than mine. And their ideas and my ideas, they might not coincide at a time that may be inconvenient. And, that's happened to me before. But what I mean is, people don't like you being something. From what I recall, I've often felt pressure to speak. Have you ever felt pressure to speak? Pressure to say something when maybe you didn't really have anything to say? Or maybe you had something to say, but you felt it wasn't adding or wasn't productive. I know I'm kind of thinking about it a lot, but I wanted to talk for a while. I'm really not a short type of person, but I'll be moving into those realms shortly. But for now, I figured I'd get the most out of myself in this conversation. If nothing else, for myself, but in front of you guys, or with you guys, about this, And if you did it, why? Why would you do it? Like, my reason for doing it would be, like I said, to step back, to take a step back, to have a chance to not participate. You know, people think participation is always good. They think participation is always good. It depends on what you want to participate in. Sometimes words are heavy. Sometimes words are a lot. Sometimes you don't have the words for a situation. A situation can't be tended to, I find, with the right words. I love music, sounds, feeling, bass lines, different instruments, tones. I'm thinking about leaning more into that. If I could have a note be a word for me, that would be a word. Maybe I'll speak like that, but you know, leaning into the idea of, you know, expressing myself maybe through art with a pictograph. Like I said, I could write down my ideas. Words, of course. You know, what if I'm taking a vow? What if I'm taking a vow of silence and someone asks me, you know, a question of some sort, and instead of you know, writing down my idea in letters, I drew a picture. It could be helpful, but like I said, you know, there could be a conflict. We're going through the drive-through. You know, it could be a challenge, and I think it would be a challenge in some way or another. You know, to maintain that status, that idea. You know, any idea that we're trying to maintain. If I'm going to maintain that, yeah, it's going to take some real discipline, some real resilience for that idea. Because it's so easy to discard. It's so easy to discard. But I'm sure after the first day or the first time, I mean, even when I'm silent now, or just naturally occurring, when I get my energy back, when I have my thoughts to myself, and some of these meditations and some of my thoughts, just with myself, I feel the recharge of energy. So, I mean, this would be a longer recharge, right? So that's how I'm thinking about it. And is it normal that we need a long recharge? Is there another set of batteries there that we gotta tend to? Is there another sort of energy? Like, is it like, you know, I have physical energy, but I also have this spiritual energy that maybe I need to recharge. So I need to sit myself. But isolation itself, or isolation on its own, given the spirit a moment to sit with itself. And I think that isolation for me would be not to have words, be a part of my, you know, participatory effort for an extended period of time.